Your prerequisite is having studied TimeMaker Matrix Lesson 4, Redirected Items and Plans. As you use TimeMaker more and more, the matrix will naturally get more full with many items, and the matrix filters will become not only helpful, but very useful and practical. Let's take a look. At the left of the matrix toolbar, we see the Filters button. Clicking on the Filters button will show or hide the Filters panel to the left. It doesn't apply any filter, it just shows or hides the panel from which to operate the various filters. Clicking on the arrow on the right of one of the filter names will open that specific filter. Let's open the Owner filter. You can see a list of all TimeMaker users in that company, and here we see the Filters toolbar. Now for an example, we'll type the name Adam. If we check the box next to Adam, that filter will be applied and the matrix will show all items where Adam is the owner. Let's also open the Performer filter. In here we'll type the name Mary. By clicking Enter, it will select the first name out of the list, in this case Mary. The matrix shows us now all the items where the owner is Adam and the performer is Mary. You will notice that the filter selection is presented at the matrix info bar at the top. Clicking once on the No Filter button will clear all filter applications. However, notice the items within the filters are still selected. In our case, Adam in the Owner filter and Mary in the Performer filter. If we click again for the second time on the No Filter button, it will fully clear the selected items within the filters. By default, when you type the text of a name into the filter search box here, it will cause all the other users that do not match the typed text to be hidden or filtered out. As you see, we typed in Mary, and every other user got filtered out. Clicking the Switch Between Search Filter button here will allow you to type a text within the search box and find the required name while still showing all the other users as well. Let's see. We click it, we type in Mary, and we find Mary, but every other user is still shown. So the difference is filtering eliminates all other users, and search just finds your user while keeping them all still visible. The next button is the Show TimeMaker Users button. Unselecting this button, it is selected by default, will hide all the TimeMaker users and will show only email users. Clicking again on this button will again show the TimeMaker users. The next button is the Show Emails button. Unselecting this button, it is also selected by default, will hide all the email users and will show only the TimeMaker users. So let's find an email. For example here. If we now click the Show Emails button, it will be hidden. If we click on it again, it will show all the email users again. Next is the Filter to Checked Users button. Suppose we manually selected a few users on a filter. Good. Now we've selected a few. But since they are few and are spread out, they're not all visible within the window of the filter. Clicking this button shows the selected users at the top of the visible window of the filter. Now, by unselecting this button, it keeps the previously selected items at the top of the filter, but now also shows the rest of the users as well. Next is the Invert Selection button. Here you can ask to make all the selected items unselected, while all unselected items become selected. See? Next is the Clear Selection button. Clicking this button will clear all the checks from all the items on that filter. Next is the Show Inactive Users button. Clicking this button will show TimeMaker users that are not active. Not active users are those users that are registered in the TimeMaker system but do not have login approval anymore. For example, a past employee. This button can be useful in order to filter out tasks which weren't completed by employees who previously worked in the company. Now you know it still needs to get done. The last button is the Show Junior of Users button. First, we'll select a person whose juniors we want to see. For example, me, Adam Green. We select Adam Green, and then we go to the Show Junior of Users button. By clicking this button, it keeps my name selected, and it shows my juniors. Makes sense. Now, what if you wanted to see all the mini operations where Adam is either the owner or the performer? Well, for that we have the and or button on each of the filters, and we'll go over this in a moment. First of all, we'll open the kind filter by clicking the little arrow to the right. We'll select mini operation, and notice that only once we've made a selection, the and or button shows up here. Clicking on the and or button will toggle between the and the or. If you are seeing or, it means or is active. If you are seeing and, it means it's operating as and. The matrix works with the filters in logical order, calculating what makes sense with the ands and the ors. And I'll show you this in a moment as well. So, in the example of all mini operations where Adam is either the owner or the performer, we'll leave and selected on the kind filter, and the next thing we need to do is go to the performer filter. We'll select Adam Green, and here we're going to make sure that or is visible as well. Then we'll go to the owner filter, select Adam Green, and here we'll also make sure that or is visible. So now we've finished making our filter selections, and in essence, what the matrix reads is show all mini operations, and with the filters of Adam Green as the performer, or the filter of Adam Green as the owner. Again, what it shows is all mini operations, and with the filter of Adam Green as the performer, or Adam Green as the owner. As you can see, in this example, Adam Green is both the owner and the performer. In this example, Adam Green is just the performer. It filtered it just as we wanted. The applications are endless with the filters. Just to give you a taste, for example, you can show only the items in your inbox. Or, for example, you can show all the completed items ever in that company. This is done by going to the status filter, clicking completed on time and completed beyond target date, and now we see all the items ever done in that company. The list goes on and on. Now for the final thing I'll be showing you in this tutorial. Let's say I had a filter set up which I really liked, and I didn't want to keep on doing that same selection over and over again each time. I could save that setup. I'll explain this by use of an example. Suppose I wanted to see all the items assigned to my team. What I would do is select the performer filter, find the people in my team, in this case Mary and Naomi, and by clicking the Filter to Checked Users button, we can see that they're both selected. Now in the matrix, I see all the items where they're the performers, everything which is assigned to them. So, to save this, I go to the little arrow by the Filters button, I click on it, and I say Save Current Settings. Let's call it Adam's Team. Now, in the future, let's say I don't have any filters, and I want to see all the items in which my team is a performer. I can go to Filters, see that it's there, click Adam's Team, and now the appropriate people will be selected, and the matrix will show my team. Of course, the TimeMaker info bar shows Adam's team, plus any other information I need to know. One can also save much more complex filters. The details of TimeMaker. Very powerful. And that concludes TimeMaker Matrix Lesson 5. Your next recommended lesson is Order By, Lesson 6. See you there.